What's going on, family? This is Scrapbook Boxing, Museum of the Forgotten Fisticuffs series. Right now, we're going to take a look at WBC welterweight champion Sugar Ray Leonard. He was the lineal champion in 1981, going into this Thomas the Hitman Hearns fight. Sugar Ray Leonard took the title away from Wilfred Benitez in 1979. Wilfred Benitez was the youngest welterweight champion at the age of 17 at that time, when he suffered his first loss to Sugar Ray Leonard. Thomas the Hitman Hearns owned the WBA championship when he defeated Pepino Cuevas earlier this year. Thomas the Hitman Hearns was a cronk fighter who was a little bitter because he didn't get the opportunity to win the 1976 Olympic when Aaron Pryor defeated him in those trials. Sugar Ray Leonard was the golden boy, winning the gold medal in the 1976 Olympics. And his first professional fight, he was able to get $40,000. That was a lot for that time. Here you have Thomas the Hitman Hearns and Sugar Ray Leonard. Let's take a look at their profiles. Now, Tommy Hitman Hearns, he was better known as the Motor City Cobra because he fought out of Detroit in the Motor City. But he wanted smoke with Sugar Ray Leonard. Here you see him on the cover of Ring Magazine, December 1980, letting the world know that he's a hitman coming for Sugar Ray Leonard. He'd been sent by Detroit to take care of business. Here you see Sugar Ray Leonard and Tommy Hitman Hearns on a September 1980 first division. This first issue here let us all know what was about to happen. Now at this time, it was all kind of articles trying to hype up this fight. As you can see here, Thomas Hearns was the WBA welterweight champion. Sugar Ray Leonard was the lineal WBC welterweight champion. Thomas Hearns was undefeated coming into this fight. Sugar Ray Leonard had already lost to Roberto Duran back in 1980 in Montreal. He had regained that title, so everyone saw he was vulnerable. But this up-and-coming phenomenon, Thomas Hearns, didn't show he was vulnerable yet. So this made for an outstanding matchup. So here you have a tale of a tape. So let's take a look at Sugar Ray Leonard. Ray Leonard, 1977, is when he turned professional. February 5th, he fought Louis the Bull Varga in Baltimore, Maryland. He scored a 6-round victory. May 14th, Willie Fireball Rodriguez, Baltimore. He scored a 6-round victory. June 10th, Vinny DeBarros in Hartford, Connecticut, killed him in 3 rounds. September 24th, Frank Santor, Baltimore, Maryland, killed him in 5 rounds. November 5th, Augustine Estrada, Las Vegas, Nevada, killed him in 6 rounds. December 17th, Hector Chito Diaz, Washington, D.C., killed him in 2 rounds. Now you can see Sugar Ray Leonard was very active at this time. Majority of his victories were KOs. So he was setting himself up to be that guy. 1978, February 4th, Rocky Ramos, Baltimore, Maryland. He scored an 8-round victory. March 1st, Art McKnight, Daytona, killed him in 7. March 19th, Javier Munez, New Haven, Connecticut, killed him in 1. April 13th, Bobby Hammond, Langover, killed him in 3. So this continues when he met Floyd Mayweather Sr. in Providence Island, September 9th, killed him in 9 rounds. October 6th, Randy Shields. Randy Shields is a very, very good amateur fighter. Baltimore, Maryland. He got a 10-round victory over him. Randy Shields is a very, very good trainer today. He was in the corner of many, many outstanding fighters. And so that was a very, very good win by Sugar Ray Leonard. Outstanding win. October 6th, Randy Shields. November 3rd, Bernardo Prada. And Portland, Oregon. 10-round victory. December 9th, Armando Munez. Springfield. Killed him in 6 rounds. 79, he continues. Knockouts and wins. Until November 30th. Wilfred Benitez. Las Vegas. Killed him in 15 rounds. And won a WBC lineal world welterweight title. Now at this point, Sugar Ray Leonard was all over the place. He was on TV. He was on commercials. And he started hosting the HBO boxing. 1980, March 31st, Davey Boy Green, Landover, killed 4. That was a vicious knockout. A vicious knockout. Beautiful combinations that were thrown to knock out Davey Boy Green. He retained the WBC World Welterweight title. June 20th, Roberto Duran, Montreal. He lost 15 rounds and lost his WBC strap to Roberto Duran. Roberto Duran is arguably one of the greatest lightweight champions of all time. Roberto Duran was the lightweight champion, and he had taken the title away from Ken Buchanan back in 1972. But as a rematch, he KO'd Roberto Duran in 8 rounds and re-won his WBC World Welterweight title. Roberto Duran, that was the famous no mas, when he turned his back and said, I had enough, I'm done. There's various stories as to why that happened. I'll leave that up to boxing history. 1981, March 28th, Larry Bonds, Syracuse. Killed him in 10 rounds, retained the WBC World Welterweight title. June 25th, Abai Kabuli, if I'm saying his name correct, in Houston, Texas, killed him in 9 rounds. And he won a WBA World Junior Middleweight title. So at this point, Sugar Ray Leonard's career record was 31 bouts, 30 wins, 21 KOs. He lost the one to Roberto Duran, and he drew 0. Sugar Ray Leonard, he was born May 17, 1956, from Wilmington, North Carolina. He was 25 years old going to this Thomas Hearns fight. 147 was his weight. He was 5'10". He had a reach of 74 inches. Thomas Hearns is born October 18th. That's my month. 1958, Memphis, Tennessee. He was 22 years old going into the Sugar Ray Leonard fight. He weighed 147, and he was 6'1" with a 78-inch reach. Phenomenal. Sugar Ray Leonard's record. In 1977, his record was 6-0, 4 KOs, and the experience of 28 rounds. 78, 11-0, 6 knockouts, 84 rounds experience. 1979, 9-0, 7 KOs, 45 rounds experience. 1980, he was 2-1. That's when he had his first loss with Roberto Duran in New Orleans. He had 2 knockouts and 27 rounds of experience. 1981, 2-0, 2 knockouts, 19 rounds of experience. Thomas the Hitman Hearns began his career at 77. Record of 3-0, 3 knockouts, 8 rounds of experience. 1978, 11-0, 11 knockouts, 25 rounds of experience. 1979, 10-0, 8 knockouts, 63 rounds of experience. 1980, 6-0, 8 knockouts, 17 rounds of experience. I'm just double checking something. Excuse the pause. 1981, 2-0, 2 knockouts, 17 rounds of experience. Total, 32-0, 30 with 130 rounds of experience. Fascinating. Now let's take a look at Thomas Hearns' fight record. 1977, November 25th, Jerome Hill, Detroit, killed him in 2 rounds. December 7th, Jerry Strickland, Mount Clemens, killed him in 3 rounds. December 16th, Willie Warren, Detroit, killed him in 3 rounds. 1978, January 29th, Anthony House, Detroit, Michigan, killed him in 2 rounds. February 10th, Robert Adams, Detroit, killed him in 3 rounds. February 17th, Billy Goodwin, Detroit, killed him in 2 rounds. March 17th, Ray Fields, Detroit, Michigan, killed him in 2 rounds. March 31st, Tyrone Phillips, killed him in 3 rounds. June 8th, Jimmy Rothwell, Detroit, Michigan, killed him in 1 round. July 20th, Raul Aguilar, Detroit, Michigan, killed him in 2 rounds. September 7th, Bruce Finch, he would be a future Sugar Ray Leonard opponent. Milwaukee, killed him in 3 rounds. October 26th, Pedro Rojas, Detroit, killed him in 1. And this continues. This knockout streak of Thomas Hearns continues throughout 1979. Alfonso Heyman went the distance with him, 10 rounds. And Mike Corbett, New Orleans, went the distance with him in 10 rounds. Everybody else was KO'd. 1980, February 3rd, Jim Richards, Las Vegas, Nevada, killed him in 3 rounds. March 2nd, Angel Espada, Detroit, Michigan, killed him in 4 rounds. March 31st, Santiago Valdez, Las Vegas, Nevada. He was KO'd in 1 round. May 3rd, Eddie Gazzo, Detroit, Michigan, KO'd him in 1 round. August 2nd, Pepino Cuevas, WBA welterweight champion. They fought in Detroit. And I'll tell you, Pepino Cuevas did the best stinky leg dance I can think of when he was KO'd in 2nd round. Wonderful dance. December 6th, Louis Plumera, Detroit, Michigan, killed him in 6th round and retained the WBA World Welterweight title. 1981, April 25th, Randy Shields, Phoenix, Arizona, killed him in 13 rounds. Now, Thomas Hearns had a problem with Randy Shields in the amateurs. He lost to Randy Shields in the amateurs. I tell you, Randy Shields was a very good fighter, outstanding. Retained his WBA World Welterweight title. And then the last fight before this fight, June 25th, Pablo Baez, Houston, Texas, killed him in 4 rounds and retained his WBA World Welterweight title. So Thomas Hearns had a record at this point of 32 fights, 32 wins, 30 KOs, no losses, no draws. Outstanding for both men. Here you have Sugar Ray Leonard to the left, Tommy the Hitman Motor City Cobra Hearns holding on to the ring belt. Now, as I said earlier, Sugar Ray Leonard was all over the place. He was in every boxing magazine. He was on all type of promotional publicities. He had, I think he had one of the first games out, if I'm not mistaken. So he was already the golden boy at this time. This is Ray Leonard. He defended his title against Bruce French. With a KO. Now this is after he fought Thomas Hearns. Just showing some illustrations. He was already undisputed at this point in time. And here you have Tommy Hitman Hearns. Here you have Thomas Hearns with Emmanuel Stewart. This is at the Kronk Gym in Detroit. Outstanding welterweight. Amazing. Back to Ray Leonard. Give you a better angle. At this point, Ray Leonard was undisputed. Ray Leonard was a WBC title holder. He was a champion at this point. Just giving you a better angle of the illustration. Now here you have Tommy Hitman Hearns. Now this is a later photo, sparring with Mark Breland, up-and-coming welterweight. Breland was a 6-time Golden Glove champion. You have Sugar Ray Leonard preparing for this bout, doing his exercises here. Ray Leonard on a speed bag. We're going to do some sparring.
Hearns at 145, and of course the height and reach advantage to Thomas Hearns.
That can either be an advantage or a disadvantage, depending on the tactics used in the fight. But Tim, I don't like that 145. Tommy Hearns should have come in at 147. After the weigh-in, put a few more pounds, he would be much stronger.
This is the feature attraction of the evening. 15 rounds of boxing for the undisputed welterweight championship of the world. Introducing, in the blue corner, fighting out of Palmer Park, Maryland, weighing in at 146 pounds, the WBC welterweight champion, Sugar Ray Leonard. And in the red corner, from Detroit, Michigan, and in the red corner, from Detroit, Michigan, he is the WBA welterweight champion of the world, undefeated in his professional career, introducing Thomas, the Motor City Cobra, Hearns. 15 rounds of boxing.
Tommy Hearns, 22 years of age, unbeaten in 32 bouts, battling Sugar Ray Leonard in this most highly anticipated championship bout to settle the welterweight championship of the world. Tommy Hearns, 22 years of age, unbeaten in 32 bouts, battling Sugar Ray Leonard in this most highly anticipated championship bout to settle the welterweight championship of the world. The 10-point must system is in effect. The judges at ringside, Wayne Ford, Chuck Minker, and Lou Talbot, all from Las Vegas. There you see Angelo Dundee getting in his final verbal licks at referee Davey Pearl. He gets ready to take on Thomas Hearns. And Gil, the atmosphere here in Las Vegas is truly electric for this bout.
And you can just really feel it in the air. I mean, it's a fight that everybody's looking forward to. I know I'm looking forward to it. Two great fighters, great skills. Should be a great fight.
There is no 3 knockdown rule applying, and it will go 15 rounds or less.
But Tim, Tommy Hearns is going to have to establish his jab early. That should be the key to the fight. Whether or not he can hit Sugar Ray with that stiff jab, or whether Ray can get under it and counter. That's what we should look for early.
3 knockouts in his 32 victories, as you've already pointed out. He is also a very skilled boxer. Of course, the speed of foot will be expected from Sugar Ray Leonard, and we're seeing some of that excellent footwork right now.
You know, Tim, Tommy Hearns has the height advantage, but it may wind up being a disadvantage because he trained down very, very low for this fight. Came in way under the welterweight limit. I don't think that will help him, especially if the fight goes long.
We're outdoors in Las Vegas, Nevada at Caesars Palace. Tommy Hearns working confidently here in the first round, but
Well, Sugar is really using that lateral movement, Tim, side to side, not letting Tommy Hearns get set at all.
Hearns a little short for this combination. There's Leonard landing the first good contact blow of the bout. A right hand to the chin of Tommy Hearns. No damage.
Right hand over the jab.
Alan Leonard right away showboating a little to show Hearns that he's not intimidated. Of course, nobody expected either of these guys to be intimidated. Left hook by Hearns got to the ear of Leonard.
Ray right now is just trying to size Tommy up, moving around, see what he has to offer. I like the way Tommy Hearns is feinting with that left jab, Tim. Trying to open Ray Leonard up so he can hit him with that good combination. But you know, the fake with that jab, make the feint effective. You have to land a few as he did then. Then the feint is more effective.
Got that last jab in, Tommy Hearns, as we approach 30 seconds remaining, round number 1. Hearns has been doing the stalking and Leonard doing the circling. Even the crowd here in Las Vegas is waiting with some anticipation for the action that's certain to follow as Ray Leonard landed a good left jab. Final seconds of round number 1. Hearns in pursuit. Well, a little extra punching after the bell there, and again, Ray Leonard.
When you say that these guys really don't like each other, that's the way it looked to me. You know, Ray tried to give him that friendly tap, like I'm the boss, and Tommy right away hit him with that. Let's take a look at the action at the end of the last round. I like that straight right hand that Tommy is using to the body. Now the bell rang, and here's Ray Leonard pushing him in the face, and Tommy reacts and hits him with a short right hand on the chin.
Get back, man. Get back, man. Get back, let me go. I'll score him and cut him off.
Let's take a look at the action at the end of the last round. I like that straight right hand that Tommy is using to the body. Now the bell rang, and here's Ray Leonard pushing him in the face, and Tommy reacts and hits him with a short right hand on the chin, and Leonard goes into his clowning act.
Well, no points for those punches, but all 3 judges scored round 1 for Thomas Hearns.
Let him know that he was in the ball game.
We're in round number 2, scheduled for 15 from Las Vegas, Nevada. The undisputed welterweight championship of the world at stake. Tommy Hearns on the left. Ray could hear Ray Leonard say to Angelo Dundee about Tommy Hearns, he's trying to bomb early.
Tommy Hearns, up to this point, he's feinting beautifully with that jab, Tim, but he hasn't been able to really score with it the way he has done against previous opponents. Ray has to get into the offensive part of this fight a little bit more, Tim, right now. If he continues to fight this way, Hearns is just going to keep putting the rounds in the bank.
So I'm giving you a radio broadcast of this fight, but as you can see here, 14th round, Thomas Hearns gets caught in the ropes. Ray Leonard finishes him. Davey Pearl was the referee. Now Hearns does get up. Davey Pearl calls a halt to the bout.
For more than the undisputed championship, even though he's unbeaten, it's been Sugar Ray Leonard who's received most avenging of that defeat.
You can see here,
High on the popularity polls.
Now Ray is
the fight was called to a halt by Davey Paul.
Leonard is jabbing. He's reaching in with the jab. He's not in position to throw any other punch.
Davey Pearl was an experienced referee at this time. He was refereeing at the time with Mills Lane
From Hearns behind his left jab, and that could arrive.
and Richard Steele and several others.
Fight for Thomas Hearns. That most lethal weapon is big right.
Way ahead. He's not fighting defense.
Time counting, Gil. Goes through the ropes.
On Tommy Hearns.
Earlier this year. Now Leonard bullying.
Leonard Hearns, he hurts Hearns.
Down there, just got him off balance. Hearns is all right.
But you know, Tim, that could be an indication that Tommy's legs are starting to go. We mentioned the fact that he came in so light for the fight. 15 rounds is a long way to go. And as Angelo said, 9 minutes, and 9 minutes is a long time to fight. The legs may be starting to weaken on Tommy Hearns. But again, Ray, it just doesn't seem to sense anything.
Angry swelling under the right eye of Ray Leonard. He is swollen under both eyes now.
Now right now, Sugar Ray Leonard is stalking Thomas Hearns. Thomas Hearns is on his bicycle.
Now Hearns is back jabbing and moving, and Ray Leonard has become the stalker again, but not the puncher.
Leonard finding a little range with the
Now Leonard is setting traps for Thomas Hearns.
right hand.
Caught him with the right hand.
Here's Tommy Hearns. Hearns in trouble again. Leonard all over him.
Leonard throws a 10-punch combination.
Pounding away with combinations inside.
Up and down. Does an old boomerang punch, as we call, left to the body, left to the head.
Through the ropes.
And Hearns goes through the ropes.
He's not counting. He's not counting. Hearns evidently pushed through there.
They call it a no knockdown.
Hearns getting up, shaking his head like he's not hurt, but he's in all kinds of trouble. Leonard jumps.
Leonard puts Hearns right back on the ropes. 2-punch combination.
Great finisher Ray Leonard is he must have thrown 1,000 punches. All the punches he didn't throw in those last 4 rounds, he saved up. And boy, did he let him go.
Oh, Hearns throws back a punch.
Hearns lunging in desperation.
Straight right hand to the head.
Snap back to head.
Right, left hook to the body. Beautiful combination. Sugar Ray Leonard is stalking Thomas Hearns at this point. Overhand right.
Leonard after him.
Hearns turns his back, starts backing up.
You can see Tommy Hearns having difficulty staying upright.
Hearns is on the move. Ray Leonard is trying to knock Thomas Hearns out.
Right behind it.
Running out of time with 24 seconds left.
Around the ring. Won't go down.
Now Leonard catches Hearns against the ropes.
What a flurry by Sugar.
Holds and hits. Both men fighting back. Davey Pearl is about to break this fight up. Woo!
And a left. Missing with the right is
Ray Leonard throws a straight right hand. Thomas Hearns falls into the ropes.
Davey Pearl this time.
Davey Pearl picks up the count.
Yes, he did count, Tim, because if the ropes hold you up when you're going to fall, it's counted as a knockdown.
Thomas Hearns is saved by the bell.
13. The crowd here at Caesars.
Well, Sugar Ray Leonard goes on to win this fight and becomes a unified welterweight champion of the world.
Nearly had a knockout of
Hope you enjoyed this fight. This is Scrapbook Boxing, Museum of the Forgotten Fisticuffs series.
To the ropes, but he was still standing. Then you see Ray miss a punch, and
Brother Trey Aston, I need your help on the blow-by-blow, brother.
so Davey Pearl was 100%
Shout out to Blood Boxing,
no knockdown.
Phenom International,
But Leonard did score
The Corner,
a knockout at the end of the round, and all three
Brother Kurt
judges
Sugar,
gave him 10-8 scores.
Trey X and Marlo.
He needs 2 more rounds like that or a knockout to win this.
Shout out to my sister Lala D.
Yeah,
Salute.
let's go